In pursuit of good money, many people are ready to do a lot, but not many people can do a lot to earn a lot of money. Despite the fact that I have already written articles on a similar topic, I nevertheless decided to tell you in this article about what kind of people can earn good money and why they can earn it. Today, the internet, as well as outside it, is full of all sorts of projects designed to teach people how to do business and achieve success in life. And many of these projects are really useful, in terms of the knowledge they give. The only trouble is that most of them are not able to change a person. They cannot make a sloppy blockhead a disciplined person, and a lazy person a hardworking person. But a person needs to be changed, a person needs to be made responsible, brave, strong, self-confident, so that he can earn good money. Without these qualities, no knowledge will help a person. What is self-confidence worth, without which a person is like plankton, not so much earning money himself, as allowing other people to earn money on himself? The system has always molded such plankton in large quantities, a submissive gray mass, capable only of fulfilling other people's orders. This is the air and blood of any system. Work, work, work even more, until you croak, slave, and money, well, forget about it, it is not a worm for you. And only a few swindlers, especially diligent and purposeful, made their way through all these obstructive weeds, to the sun, receiving both money and status and respect. And for the rest, for the gray mediocrity, a good job and a stable salary is the ultimate dream. And everything would be fine, you can work, and for a modest salary, maybe happiness is not in money. Who knows how many unhappy millionaires exist? Life can be harsh to everyone, both to the rich and to the poor. But here, the worker is not valued, does not earn even more or less good money that he could be proud of. Scott, from the point of view of the ruling elite of these countries, a lazy person, a stupid person will not have money, such a person will work, and how much the owner will say that the Negroes are working. What I'm getting at, oh yeah, is that to make good money, you need good motivation, not a shameful desire to live a modest life and be like everyone else, not to stand out. This attitude is no good if you want to have money. A modest life is for weaklings, and today we are being made to understand this in every possible way, wiping our feet on the weakest and most dependent of us. It is not necessary to bathe in luxury to be cool. This is not about that, this is about living for greater goals, and not for a kennel and a bone in a bowl, otherwise you will never feel like a human being. To follow the master's commands, to wag your tail in front of him so that he does not let you die of hunger, and not to have any great goals, is this typical of a person, with his natural ambitions, with his energy, with his capabilities? Nevertheless, contempt and hatred for work is such as characteristic of slaves, that same dull and lazy filth whose standard of living has to be lowered below the baseboard so that it starts moving. Be motivated by your great desires, and not by vital necessity. Although the latter can be quite invigorating. You need to work, without it you will become covered in shit, but you need to work correctly, for yourself and at a job that is pleasant and profitable for you. A person is born to work, but to work, first of all, with his head, to work competently, with pleasure, for a great goal, for himself, and not for the master. And he has the right to have a decent ration for his work, but he should not just be a peasant or a craftsman, he also needs to be a warrior in order to be able to defend what he created with his own hands, what he earned with his sweat and blood. Bandit scum has always existed, and this scum has always considered working people to be scum, from whom you can take away whatever you want, and with whom you can do whatever you want. Well, how can you earn big money if you are weak, stupid, and disorganized? You will work, and someone else will take away the results of your labor? Only in a system that will protect those who create, and not those who take away and appropriate, a person, a creator can live well, and even very well, but in a rotten thieving system, which not only does not respect, but also despises the working man, the man who creates socially useful goods, you will receive nothing but contempt and a spit in the face for your work. Oh yeah, and they can also pay you that pitiful handout that they, the parasitic sons of bitches on you, call a salary, which they throw you like a bone to a dog so that you do not die of hunger. Good money is being turned over today by those who do nothing, but who share well what someone else has done. In my previous articles I wrote about who and why is living fat and getting fatter these days. Read them when you have time, find out who is living well today. People often, at least I have often heard this, say how some talentless illiterate person is turning over big money, and I, and we, so literate, educated, well-read, cultured and highly moral, are forced to toil for pennies, forced to submit to this scum, who lives and eats at our expense. And what if you, as it seems to you, are better than those who have more than you and live better than you? If you consider yourself better, you must use your superiority and displace the scum from the place it unfairly occupies. Smart people, as history shows, have always ousted dumb aggressive monkeys from their bread and butter, and no revolutions, no repressions, no tyrants could cope with truly smart people who will find 1,000 ways to drive a dumb primate into an enclosure. And those tyrants and exploiters who cannot be removed are apparently not stupid themselves, no matter what we think of them. Money, land, resources, all this has always belonged and now belongs to a strong, brave, smart, calculating, self-confident person who can not only and not so much break the bones of his enemies, but also organize a team around himself, and with its help build a powerful system that multiplies his strength many times over. A strong person is not a stupid and impudent egoist, grabbing everything that can be grabbed and running, like a sled hare with this junk somewhere where he can save this junk. A strong person has a well-developed social instinct, he thinks about others, cares about others, feeds others, so that they are ready to gnaw anyone's throat for him. A bastard who thinks only about himself will not be able to earn good money, he can only steal it, like the last rat. And when they rob the loot, and we often witness this, then we are no longer talking about rats, because rats are not capable of such things, we are talking about someone, or rather about something much worse and lower. Yes, friends, a person can be incredibly great and can be shit on a shovel, the universe allows any options, and a person masters these options. Not many are capable of creating something, developing it and defending it, and thus providing themselves and other people with a good life. The current rotten stuff, making money on speculation, fraud, theft and various types of sabotage, is in principle not capable of anything great. Our modern system is simply a paradise for scum, for all these swindlers and parasites, who not only ruin everything around them with their sabotage, but also impose their rules on us. And I tell you, play by their rules and beat them in their lousy game. Steal from thieves, deceive swindlers, fleece speculators, break the bones of bone breakers, beat the sons of bitches with their weapons, let them get what they deserve. Do you think you can't do it? Come on, the main thing is to set the right goal, and you will always find a way to achieve it. Why do we need to be like those scumbags who make money without doing anything useful? A snake biting its tail can be interpreted in different ways, but personally I see it as a need for people to gain experience that can once and for all hammer into their brainless heads that such and such a path is a dead end, that if you feel good today, it doesn't mean that you'll feel good tomorrow. And since you plan to live tomorrow and the next day, and live well, you must take into account the consequences that your thoughtless actions today will lead to. And if a monkey can't get something through its head, then explain it to it through its ass. Not all ways of earning money, including good money, will lead us to a better future, I mean all of us. But we are forced to play by the rules of social parasites today, I mean those of us who were taught since childhood that only those who work eat. We must join the parasites' environment and destroy it with our counter-parasitism. You took from me, I will take from you. And I will take from you 10 times more, as a sign of revenge, for the sake of justice. I will find a way to do this. I will not sleep at night, but I will get you, you bastard. I will set myself superpersonal non-biological goals in order to awaken in myself a frantic energy for the sake of achieving this goal. Nothing has charged people to fight as much as the fight for justice. No money here can hold a candle to the feeling of injustice, as an incentive. And who do we need to fight? Who is our enemy? The one who makes our life worse, who harms us, who manipulates us, who takes away ours. Who could it be? Anyone, even a bandit with a gun, even a lousy bureaucrat, even a stinking official, even a fucking granny at the market who decided to foist her stinking turnip on us for who knows what price. If a person is aiming for our resources, if he wants to profit from us and harm us, he automatically becomes our enemy. This is if we talk about emotions, and if without emotions, then everything is even simpler. Treat people the way they treat others. No malice, no resentment, no hatred, just adapt to what you cannot adapt to yourself and act in such a way as to get a result, regardless of public shitty opinion about what is right and what is wrong. Otherwise, all these passive, stunned smartass who surround us, are healthy enough to teach us what is good and what is bad. And what if, damn it, they are ready to justify any ghoul who skins them alive and despises them? Stupid slave thinking forces a person to obey the one who is stronger, and to behave impudently with the one who treats him like a human being. By the way, about what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. Do we even know what is right and what is not? We don't know shit. We guess, but we don't know. How do we know that? Did we create this world or something to judge its laws and give them our assessment? We can't even create a normal society, let alone peace. Maybe our parasitism on each other is the way nature regulates our numbers. Maybe it is with its help that some kind of natural selection occurs. People are healthy to reproduce, especially when they have no brains and money, but have food and a roof over their heads. Why the hell does nature need so many gluttonous creatures who want everything at once? They need to be reduced, but how? Let them eat each other, let greed and avarice destroy them, let the craving for pleasure decompose them and turn them into meat, which then rots alive. Let the strong beat the weak, let people crush each other and tear off each other's heads for limited resources. They always want more than everything, no matter how much you give them. Money, friends, in a pack of greedy and avaricious savages is a virus that affects the human brain and forces it to destroy itself and its own kind. Just as the hypno-mushroom lord turns an ant into a zombie, so money stupefies a person and makes him aggressive and ruthless towards other people. Money is an apple of discord, especially good money, for which it is not a sin to harm even your loved ones, making your life meaningless due to the destruction of your future. What are zombie people ready for today? For good money? And for big money? Well, you still haven't figured out what kind of people and how they earn good money in this world. First of all, do you still think that if you create some windows or a perpetual motion machine, money will immediately come pouring in? Okay, I won't disappoint you. Active people who create useful things for society and provide services that are in demand by society really do get rich. But be careful with those who love and can appropriate the results of someone else's work. In general, it all depends on what kind of money is good for you. Maybe you don't need that much money to be happy. Therefore, being a more or less honest person, and creating, building, and not taking away, luring and destroying, can be very profitable for you. But be sure to learn to resist those who will try to take away the results of your work. As a craftsman and a peasant, you always risk being robbed and deceived, because power has always taken its own, took from those from whom it could take. So, friends, my reasoning is not the ultimate truth. I am sure you understand this perfectly well. I do not know what is absolutely right and what is not, but I have some thoughts on this matter. After all, I did not come down from the mountains, in my life I had to do a lot and managed to communicate with many people. To earn good money, your balls should not be sluggish, your head should not be filled with all sorts of crap, and you should choose an activity for yourself in which it is actually possible to earn big money. There is no need, for example, to start raising agriculture in a country that does not need it at all. And as for the country itself, choose one in which your knowledge and skills will be in demand. Fields are different, some have one set of rules, others. Bandits and swindlers mostly flock to some countries because they feel comfortable there, while in other countries, working and creative people are respected, not too much, but respected. In some countries, those who build are valued, in others, those who destroy. You should take this into account when choosing where to live. And just don't think that you must necessarily die in the place where you were born. Be modern people, look for a better place. The same business is not profitable and safe everywhere. Everyone says business, but what business? Do people know what they will face when creating a more or less decent business? Are they ready to play by the unspoken rules that apply in this or that field? Read the book 60 Trends in 60 Minutes by Sam Hill. If you are planning to create a business, an interesting book, there is something to learn from it. Money, my friends, is, first of all, the prey of a strong man, and all the rest eats up after him, after he is sated. The authorities take from us as much as they need, and as much as we agree to give them, as much as we are able to give them, and the rest is lured out, pulled out, confiscated from us by all these businesses, swindlers, thieves, crooks, bureaucrats, officials, and so on. Give money to everyone, but not everyone is ready to do something useful for us for it. It is not accepted nowadays to discuss in what ways one should and should not earn money. It is important to earn as much as possible, and in what way, this is a secondary question. We earn our money in different ways. Some of us work more, some less, some do not work at all, but only imitate work. There is no need for us to judge each other. We are all parts of the system we live in, and if our system is shitty, then there is something wrong with us too. How can you earn good money? It is very simple. You need to work. You need to work well, work correctly, work wisely, work in a profitable job, work in a country that values your work, work with pleasure. Then you will earn your good money. But this money can be taken away, stolen, appropriated, lured out of people in various ways, and this is allowed here, and everywhere. What is easier? You yourself understand that it is easier. What is the right way? Well, my thoughts on this matter are set out above. You have the right to form your own opinion on this issue. Becoming a good specialist in some field, finding a profitable job in your profession and earning good money on it, or creating your own business, and not just any business, like buy and sell Chinese crap, but a normal business, maybe even a great business, is more the exception than the rule these days. But cheating your neighbor, taking from your neighbor, robbing your neighbor, today is somehow, easier, at least for those people who seem to have a head on their shoulders, even if not the brightest, and balls that are not weak, so their ass does not play, and therefore they choose this particular way of making money. But as I said above, with those who rob you in one way or another and profit at your expense, God Himself ordered you to act in a similar way, and for this you need to learn not only good deeds, but also bad deeds. Conditionally bad deeds, such deeds that we are accustomed to consider bad. So here you have it where you can earn good money. Here you have the answer to the question of why those who earn well, and even very well, do not always seem and are good. But hand on heart, let's be honest, it is one thing when they profit from us, and quite another when we profit from someone. We are often not objective in our judgments about our own and other people's affairs, especially about our own affairs and ourselves, we judge objectively. And therefore justice, as such, can be disadvantageous not only to those who turn over millions, but also to less adapted, but no less useless and dishonest people. In principle, I believe that it is always possible to find a way to earn good money through good, correct, useful for people, for society deeds, and not through parasitism. Why become a parasite, sucking money out of people like a vampire sucks blood, if you can come up with some interesting business that suits you and with its help not only earn money, but also express yourself as a person? When I worked with people who turned to me for help on the issue of creating a business, I remember we selected something that suited them, some activity in which these people could succeed. Well, not everyone is able to create a big business, not everyone can do some activity that they are simply not interested in. To be more precise, not everyone wants to do something uninteresting for themselves, just for the sake of money, but this does not change the essence of the matter. A person's desire should always be taken into account when choosing a way to make money. Thus, it is important for you to find what is called your own business, if you do not want and do not plan to create a large and complex business, overcoming many different obstacles on the way to success. And also do not want to get into power, engage in banditry, fraud, and similar things. The business that you will do with pleasure, which will be in demand in society and which you will be allowed to do, stronger people compared to you, although not very large, although this is possible, but more or less good money will definitely bring you. Look for that niche for yourself, for which you are ideally suited and which suits you. Look for your place in life, according to your desires. I will say right away that slave labor for an uncle is definitely not your place. In the end, if you read this article from beginning to end, then you are clearly not lazy and not untalented, so working for pennies, and even for someone there, does not suit you.